BC Hydro construction well underway here in Campbell River. This is Go. I'm Ruth Harris. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. This is Mr. Stephen Watson from BC Hydro. This is an unconventional Go today. We are here on site. So what are we looking at, this great big huge hole here? Give us an idea of where we are.
Well, this is the John Hart Dam, and as part of this project we have to construct a coffer dam. And that allows the reservoir to be held back, and so we can do all this work in the dry. So if we have a look over here,
sure,
we can see the steel piles. And so those are put in, and there's a unique format in how they did that. They drilled them in because this is a dam here. And so they've got that in place, holding back the water, and now they're starting to remove the rock downwards. And so this is what they're doing. It's drilling, put in the explosives, and here they got the mat coverage.
Okay.
And from there, they're going to work their way down. So eventually they'll get down to water maintenance gate.
Okay.
And then that gate will allow water to pass through the dam, and then on the other side, which we'll talk about, that's where it goes and eventually goes down into that tunnel.
Okay, so how deep are we going?
Well, I don't have the exact numbers, but it's fairly deep. Well, on the other side here, the excavation is about 26 meters long and about 9 meters wide. Okay. And then the actual shaft that goes down the power tunnel is about 6.5 meters in diameter. So it's pretty significant. A key thing here, though, is the silt curtains. Okay. So we need to protect the fish habitat and the domestic water supply for the city Campbell River. So InPower BC has done a great job in protecting the water quality. Okay. This is one of the significant project risks. Okay. It's completed and it's going really well.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to have a look at this story from right here in Campbell River, but stay right where you are. We're coming right back with more from Stephen. Go is back on location. We are now on the road on the other side where we just were. We're looking down into the hole, and it is very deep, and with me still is Stephen Watson from BC Hydro. How deep is that those guys are working in? They look about this big.
Yeah, well, it is significant. I mean, it's the length that we're looking at is about 26 meters long. It's about 9 meters wide. And the deep, well, eventually they're going to go down about 90 to 100 meters deep.
Oh, okay.
And that's where the 6.5 meter diameter power shaft
is going to go down.
So straight down, and then it's go down about 1.5 kilometers, about a 1% grade, down to the underground generating station. Okay. So here we'll see the water intake structure. So this is where water will pass in the power tunnel. Okay. And we're also going to have a series of water outlets to provide minimum flows for fish habitat downstream in the Elk Canyon. Okay. Right now we have the spill provided by the spillway gates. Okay. That'll stop, and we'll provide precise flows through valves that we'll create through this project. Okay. So what's the total cost of this project? This project's $1.093 billion. They started about spring 2014. It's like a mining operation right now. Okay. And so it'll look to be completed around the end of 2018. And of course, and then we remove the existing facilities, the penstocks, surge towers, the generating station comes out in 2019. Okay. It's going well. It's really starting to take shape. Okay, so much information. If you would like more information, check out the website you see on the screen. There are videos there. There is some drawings or some maps, right? Absolutely.
Okay, so all the information is there if you'd like a more detailed explanation of what's going on. Right now we're going to head down to the Comox Valley for this week's Sweet Spot. I'm Ruth Harris. With me still, Stephen Watson from BC Hydro. We are here at the John Hart Dam. Now, why are we doing this?
Yeah, well, it's a big project for BC Hydro. Basically, there's 3 project drivers: seismic risk. Yep. Facility wouldn't be able to withstand even low to moderate earthquake. Then we've got reliability. This facility is 68 years old. It's end of life. And environmental risk to fish habitat downstream. So we want to make sure that fish habitat is safe. We get a constant water flow. And so those are drivers, and we arrived in the replacement of our 68-year-old facilities to deal with that. So we have InPower BC, S&C Lavalin, Acon Frontier Camper. They're doing a great job. We're going to talk to Andy Brown from InPower later today, talk about all the good work they're doing.
Now, where are we going to talk to him?
Well, this is kind of where the dam is and where the water is going to enter the power tunnel. So Andy's going to talk about the power generating station, where the powerhouse cavern will be, the underground elements of it.
So we're going to be at a totally different site.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we're going to be at a different site.
Yes, we will.
All right, perfect. So we're going to take a short break, but we'll be somewhere else when we come back, but you'll be with us. So cool. Welcome back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. Joining me now, as promised, Mr. Andy Brown of In Power BC. Behind us, way down there, is a tunnel.
Yep.
Now, a year ago, you guys were just starting to pick away at that tunnel. How far in are you now?
Right now, we're about 800 metres in, and there's about a kilometre and a half of tunnels all done.
Wow.
The powerhouse cavern itself, which
Okay.
is where the turbines and the generators and everything else are, is about 85% done.
Excellent.
Should be completed, all the excavation should be completed around the beginning of May.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to get going on the power tunnel. And the power tunnel is the one that goes back up to the dam,
Right.
brings the water down.
Right. We were just there with Stephen Watson. So
Okay.
we were at the dam. We understand they're digging down to connect the tubes. So basically you're digging from this end and they're digging from the other end. You're gonna
That's correct.
connect.
That's correct.
All
And
right.
all the little tunnels that need to connect from the water flow coming down the hill
Yep.
into the powerhouse
Yep.
and out of the powerhouse and then down to the tower race.
Right.
That's all under construction as well. There's
Okay.
a whole bunch of things going on.
at once.
One way to equate it is that you've got an anthill.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's a couple of entrances into the anthill and there's
Yes.
a whole bunch of stuff going on underneath.
I see.
That's what we're doing.
All right.
And there's
Cool.
a bunch of ants running around doing all the work.
That
Okay.
is a perfect analogy.
Okay,
Perfect.
so that's sort of where we're at.
Okay.
Most of the excavation will be done by midsummer,
Okay.
and that's when the guys will start to bring in some of the equipment,
Right.
and they'll start to do concrete work and installations and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really busy year this year,
Right.
heading towards further completion of all the work next year.
Awesome.
I
Okay.
think we've come a long way this year
All right.
already.
Can you hang tough with us for a minute?
You betcha.
All right. So now we're going to have a look at this story, but we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Joining me still, Mr. Andy Brown of In Power BC. Now, you have almost 250 men and women on the site. What's the safety protocol?
Safety protocol. Safety is number one.
Okay.
Absolutely number one. The three major companies involved in the project being S&C Lavalin, Frontier Kemper, AECon, have all got very strong safety protocols. Combined, it's even more so important.
Right.
And they have collectively come up with a policy or a program of safety for this site.
Okay.
And they've done a lot of work to incorporate it as a culture,
Yes.
and they've been extremely successful. It's working really, really well. So in fact, they've worked almost now 1 million man-hours on the job, and to date, no lost time accidents, injury
Wow.
accidents.
Fantastic.
So it's a really, really good result.
All right.
It's produced an environment where everybody watches out for the other guy,
Right.
and they do a self-assessment basically every morning, each individual,
Okay.
to identify whatever hazards they may be walking into on that day's activity.
Okay.
So it's really driven down to the bottom level and
Awesome.
supported totally by everybody up above that.
Excellent.
Excellent stuff. It rolls over into the environment side.
Exactly.
We're just as concerned about the
It's a
environment.
massive site
It is, and there's a lot
surrounded
going
by
on.
a provincial park.
Right. Now, I must admit, my environmental expertise is pretty minimal, so I rely on a lot on others, but I know that there's been the red-legged frog survey, and they did an owl survey here recently, and they've been looking at the egg mass for the frogs.
Frogs.
So they've done all that.
Right.
There's hydrophones in the water to
Okay.
record the pressure from the various blasts that are happening, especially down the tail race.
Of course.
They'll do the same thing up at the dam when we start to blast up there.
Yep.
Water quality and all that stuff
Okay.
is very highly rated, and we've got a team of people on the environment side that monitor that and look after it all the time.
Awesome. Well, Andy, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate being on site with you and seeing what an amazing job you guys are
Not a
doing.
problem, anytime.
All right, we're going to take a short break, but stay right where you are. More coming up. Go is on location at the huge construction site for the John Hart Generating Station. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
All right, Stephen Watson back with me now. What are these three huge towers?
Yeah, they're pretty iconic. They're about 90 meters tall, and they're one of the tallest structures in Vancouver Island for many years. They're actually half full of water, the same elevation as the reservoir up top, so they provide penstock protection, particularly for the wood stave section up top. So with the replacement project, everything's going underground, so the penstocks will be removed, and 2 of the 3 surge towers will be removed. The one on the right that has communications equipment, it's not part of the new system, but it'll stay. So it'll kind of have a bit of a heritage value there. So
awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive.
It is, very much. All right, well, thank you so much for that little piece of information. When are those 2 coming down?
They'll probably come down around early 2019.
2019. See, there's so much to watch here, and there is a viewing station, but it's on the other side.
Yeah, the Canyon View Trail, we had to move it, create a bit of a station view trail. So on the other side of these surge towers, you can see a bridge. It's a fantastic walk. You actually can overlook the generating station, the river below, and then you get a bird's eye view, well, not bird's eye, but looking up the other direction of the surge tower. So it's a great vantage.
Cool. And now we're going to watch this story over in Campbell River, but we'll be right back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris, Stephen Watson. Once again, we are now at the end of the project. So tell us what those guys are doing over there.
Well, actually, yeah, so what happens here is after the water goes from the entries of the dam down to the generating station, goes to the powerhouse, there's about 600-meter tail race tunnel that comes to here. So this is the tail race outlet, or the watered outlet. So this is an excavation from top to bottom about 30 meters, but there's a bit of a slope here, so really sort of 20-meter excavation to get down. And then you'll see the outlet from the tail race tunnel. The tunnel itself is submerged, so the water flow won't be coming up above, it's coming below the water surface. And it'll be very similar to the discharge that we have here.
So what we see, the speed of the water coming out of the current generating station, which is right here beside us.
An operating facility, so this is operating while this is all happening. So we have very...
So the tunnel's going to come right underneath where we're standing?
Basically, you can run it right through here.
And out.
And out this way. And so it's safe, public safety, conservation of fish, and all those kind of things. So the water's good velocity. And of course, the facility needs to operate too. So working very closely with the contractor. Through this controlled drilling and blasting, and so far so good.
Fabulous. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for all your time today.
Thank you.
This has been great to have so much access and information about such an amazing, huge, massive project that's happening right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.